Tonight, on a Nation Sports Show, we start our coverage of this year's NBA playoffs, as tonight it is the start of the NBA play-in tournament, who will be the 7th and 8th final seeds in both conferences, plus the latest breaking news in the NFL, and more. It's showtime.
From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. We are live. It is a Tuesday once again. You wanted the best. Well, they weren't available, so you get us instead. It is our Nation Sports Show. We are back. It is good to be here on a Tuesday. Oh, man, and definitely we got a lot to talk about today's show. We definitely do some NFL updates. Of course, we got to definitely talk about the conclusion of the NBA season. The play-in is set. Brackets are set, so it's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all different sorts of stuff in the world of sports, a little MLB action. And definitely got to mention a cool voiceover package for the Winnipeg Jets I saw today, which we'll get into that a little bit as well. Voiced by somebody we know from outside the world of sports. But there's a lot to talk about. I'm Ezra. Thank you so much for dropping by. Definitely, if you like what we do, if you like what we're talking about, definitely hit us up on not only here on the YouTube, like, subscribe, share, of course. Don't forget to hit us up at Twitter at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to follow our individual social medias as well. Don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner at Nation's Corner, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on Saturdays. Same time as this show, only on the weekend, where they talk all things professional wrestling. You want to get your pro wrestling fix? Join our crew, including, of course, Tony Justice, Front Row, Deb Housen, Mongrovi and Mike, John of South Jersey, and everybody else in the crew. And all that. Don't forget to check out their wrestling show as we talk about all the happenings in pro wrestling. And with a busy week it's been since WrestleMania concluded nearly 2 weeks ago, it's gonna be a great conversation. So join them, and don't forget to check out last week's show, which was really fun as well. Don't forget also to check out Too Sweet Cosplay, my cosplay crew, at Too Sweet Cosplay across all socials. We're currently putting up videos and photos from C2E2 weekend, which was the same weekend as WrestleMania. Check out our photos, check out our videos here in the next couple of days. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And our YouTube channel as well, where we pass videos from cosplay contests and famous video featuring my best friend and one Maxwell Jacob Friedman. But enough about that. Enough self-promoting. Enough making myself look like an ass. Let's go ahead and introduce the crew here, and let's get it rolling. And believe it or not, we got a little 4-pack tonight, which was a nice little shock and surprise. And so let's introduce them. Of course, we got with us tonight the man himself, rooting for his Golden State Warriors in these upcoming playoffs. Hopefully these guys can get it together and make that miraculous run. We will see. And that is our buddy, leader of the Niner gang, KR Kevin Rory. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good to be here tonight, and good that the NBA playoffs are finally about to get underway. That's what I was mainly looking forward, and been kind of a dead off season with no football. And yeah, I just want to say I'm a football guy. I miss football so much that the other day I went to the airport just so I can boo the Jets one more time. But Anyway, good to be here tonight, guys.
Yeah, well, if the Jets fuck up on getting Aaron Rodgers, you have all the chance to boo him on that front. Just saying, it didn't. Eric could go back to his darkness retreat and be there forever. I don't care. Yeah, if darkness had a son, his name is Aaron Rodgers. Anyways, next up with us is a man who got himself some free time this Tuesday and decided to join us, and that is our buddy here, JT Joey Thornton. What is up, my brother?
What is going on, everybody? I'm glad to be back on this marvelous Tuesday. And yeah, just like Kevin, I'm suffering from a little bit of football withdrawal also.
Oh, I am
As
too.
a matter of fact, I actually went to Walmart the other day, and because I was gonna see if there was any of them rollback donkeys just wandering around the aisles.
That's right.
But yeah, glad to be here, ready to talk some NBA playoffs, NFL, Lord knows what. Let's get it on.
I know I'm missing football so much that that the other day I was doing some shopping and I tried to throw a t-shirt that I found over in the sports section into my cart, and it got intercepted. I felt like Jay Cutler. I'm like, oh, the memories do flow. Oh,
And they were
good
even
time.
too.
Let the good times roll. But anyways, finally here on the docket here is a man who besides myself and maybe like one other person in our Nation's Corner crew is actually ready to watch some Metallica tonight on Jimmy Kimmel Live, as we will the next 2 nights and the previous night before, because Metallica is performing on Jimmy Kimmel Live 4 nights in a row, performing the 4 singles from the new album 72 Seasons, which will be released this Friday. Yes, cheap plug, I know. My buddy, my heavy metal brother from North Carolina, the one, the only, Mr. Stephen Wyand. Steven, what's up?
Man, I'm so excited for 72 Seasons coming out this Friday. Metallica with their 11th studio record. It's hard to believe that these guys have been kicking ass and taking names for 42 glorious years. And man, just the 4 singles that have came off this record, I'm super excited for this record. So far, so good. And a lot of the reviews that have came out are positive, and just looking forward to this record. And looking forward to devouring some more tunes from the mighty Metallica. Yeah. And we're right now we're gonna take over, just like Metallica's taking over Jimmy Kimmel Live all week this week. We're taking over by talking about the world of sports. So let's go.
Absolutely. And I did mention the Winnipeg Jets. I wanted to bring this up real quick. It's not a long topic discussion, but it's pretty cool. It's something I saw before I came on the show with you guys today, before I even got on the pre-show interview. And that is that really cool voiceover package to hype up the Winnipeg Jets upcoming season, surprisingly by none other than Winnipeg's own, speaking of North Carolina, the one, the only, Kenny Omega. Omega did a really cool voiceover for a package to hype up the Winnipeg Jets season and get them going, talking about the old days back when it was the whiteout, and talking about the camaraderie of the city and all the different things that makes the Winnipeg Jets the Winnipeg Jets. And it was pretty cool to hear Kenny's voice over that video. And real quick, I want to the wrestling talk real quick. I got to say quick congratulations to young talent on the roster. I know they're going to mention it on Nation's Corner, but I got to say it. Congratulations to Nick Wayne. Of course, Nick Wayne, who has been on GCW and was signed at the age of 17. He'll be making his debut July 12th. It was announced on Dynamite against Swerve Strickland. And the announcement today, according to Tony Schiavone's podcast, that Billy Starks, who has appeared on Rampage and Dark Elevation, it is another GCW mainstay, has signed with the company. So congratulations to Billy Starks and Nick Wayne. But that's all I wanted to say about the Winnipeg Jets, mainly because I'm the only one who watches hockey. But, go Blackhawks. Let's get right into the NFL. We got to get into that, and we got to talk about the big news that dropped, and that was the signing of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Baltimore Ravens. He signed a 1 year, I believe it was $18 million deal.
Correct.
And a lot of people now are questioning yes, with this being a short deal, will this be enticing enough to keep Lamar Jackson in Baltimore? That's the question that a lot of people are posing, and that's the question I want to pose to you guys. Could this be a little like worm on the hook to try to get Lamar to sign a long-term deal with Baltimore, despite him wanting a massive, massive paycheck that Baltimore is seemingly not willing to pay for? Kevin, go ahead and take the reins on this one.
I mean, that might be Baltimore's effort, but if I'm personally honest with you, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm going to feel like it's a slap in my fucking face, because your whole ideal this offseason is I don't want to overpay for offense. I don't want to overpay Lamar. I don't want to pay too much. But then you go sign a fucking receiver who has torn his ACL, hasn't played a lick of football in 2 years, and you sign him to $18 million, or a deal that can go up to $18 million. It starts at like 14, but still $18 million for a fucking receiver who hasn't played 2 years in football with a torn ACL, but you don't want to overpay for your 26-year-old who has got an MVP under his belt and who has completely changed Baltimore's offense when he plays. When he plays, Baltimore wins. When Lamar doesn't play, Baltimore loses. Odell is he's not gonna change a thing in my point. You're overpaying a receiver when you should be overpaying your quarterback, if anything, to keep him around. So if I'm Lamar, I'm taking that as a spit in my face. And then from a business perspective, come on, Ozzie Newsome. You had a chance to go get all these weapons in free agency, all of them. You had a chance to go sign Hayden Hurst to back up Mark Andrews. You had a chance to possibly trade for DJ Moore like the Bears did. You had a chance to trade for DeAndre Hopkins. That's still on the table. You had a chance to bring all these receivers in, this and that. You had a chance to trade for Tyreek Hill last year. And what do? The best you could do was sign a receiver, overpay for a receiver who hasn't played in 2 years. Oh, and the best receiver of them all, Nelson Aguilar. Out of all the fucking people you can sign, you go after them two guys. Come on, Baltimore. If I'm Lamar, I'm packing my bags and I'm on the elevator to the airport on my way to get the hell out of Baltimore, because I
Agreed.
That's just a slap in my face at that point.
Anybody else? Joey?
I mean, I could not have said it better. I mean, Kevin, you made a great point there. With Baltimore having a chance to sign all these amazing free agents, all these big name players out there, but yet they go after Nelson Aguilar and Odell Beckham, but yet this was probably the biggest stat free agency class as far as wide receivers goes in many, many years. So yeah, if I'm Lamar, I'm packing my bags and I'm booking the first flight to pretty much anywhere at this point. I mean,
Terrible.
Yeah, Odell, he has had some good years under his belt, and there's no doubt that if Lamar does wind up staying, Odell will definitely be the number one receiver, and Nelson Aguilar definitely the number two, which will take some of the slack off Mark Andrews, but still, I mean, putting the three together, Mark Andrews is still better than both of them combined right now, because Odell has not he had a good game in the Super Bowl a year and a half ago, but he hasn't
Real
played
quick,
since
Joey,
then
he had a
because of
good
his torn
quarter.
ACL. And
He had a good quarter.
yeah, and Nelson Aguilar, I mean, shoot, that dude can't even catch his cold. He can't even catch a cold if he was bare naked with the Penguins. I mean, come on. Nelson Aguilar is straight up garbage. He hasn't amounted to anything since he came to the pros, and now he's going to be the number two in Baltimore behind Odell. Lamar, just do us all a favor and get the hell out of there. It's that simple, man. It's that simple.
I I guess what
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to say with the receiver market, that like if you're Baltimore, not even taking in Lamar Jackson's point of view right now, but if you're Baltimore, if I'm going to spend that fucking much on a wide receiver, why
Right.
not just trade a 4th-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins? Because Arizona literally is not asking for much. They're literally
There you
begging
go.
someone just to
There you
Exactly.
go.
offer kind of day 2 or 3 pick to get rid of his contract. And so if you're going to overpay, why not overpay for a receiver who actually played within
And
the
he's
last
young.
year, who
Hopkins is
actually
still
still
young.
is elite? I mean, not just terrible.
I don't understand this move at all. I mean, like Lamar Jackson is clearly your star quarterback, your star athlete, only behind Mark Andrews. And you're not even paying your best player that kind of money, even more, 30, 35, 40 million and whatever. Not what Lamar thinks he's worth, 250 million. I mean, I get Lamar thinks that he's worth a lot of money because he is the reason why they've been having the success they've had in the last couple of years. And Kev, you're spot on with this. This is a slap in the face to Lamar Jackson because the way he has played when he is healthy, he is the best player on that football field. But when he's not healthy, you're spot on, bro, because they don't win. They don't win consistently. They absolutely hit the bottom of the basement this past season, and they barely made it into the postseason, and they got beat because, you guessed it, their backup players fumbled the ball at the most key crucial parts of the game. If that's Lamar Jackson playing against the Bengals in the jungle, I don't think Lamar Jackson is fumbling the ball at the 2-yard line, punching the ball into the end zone.
I agree.
I don't get it. I mean, dude, the free agency market this year has been loaded, and Baltimore picks these two clowns to be your receiver. And on top of that, you're paying OBJ this kind of money, like you said, dude, when he hasn't even played a full season since that Rams Super Bowl championship team. And mind you, he only played 1 quarter in Super Bowl 56 against the Bengals before he tore his ACL. When he is healthy, he's a true player. He's a great player. But Odell cannot stay healthy.
Yeah, you're talking about a shell of a former great wide receiver. You're talking about a guy who at one point was considered one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL at one point. Now you sign him to a 1-year deal. You sign him to that 1-year deal, and then you end up in not only you think it's enticing for Lamar Jackson, dude. Lamar right now is so focused on trying to get that big paycheck. He's so focused on trying to make a shit ton of money no matter where he goes. It seems like it just to him, it's not about, to me. He has every right to leave. He has every right to leave because of the players they signed, because of the lack of gumption from the team to really sign any players offensively. And they just let everybody go. They let everybody go to other teams, didn't make an effort. And you sign, like you said, Nelson Aguilar, who's, lackluster. You sign another player, and then you go and sign Odell Beckham Jr., who hasn't been healthy in several seasons. And you try and if that's your way of trying to keep Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry, but I would tell Lamar, hey, look, we ain't got nothing else for you. You might as well go look somewhere else. Go try and get your $200-something million from somebody else, because we're not going to pay you. Because look, if they're barely going to pay anything for Odell Beckham Jr. and they're barely going to do anything on offense during this offseason, as sure as fuck they're not going to pay Lamar Jackson his asking price. Lamar better start shopping around and being his own agent, or having his family as his agent, whatever's going on there. They better start asking around now, or otherwise he's just going to end up sitting this coming season.
Exactly. And one more key point, excuse me. How many times have we seen big contracts like this? Yes, it can help a team, but only so far. But as I was saying, how many times have we seen players ask for big contracts like this that actually ruin teams, or that actually ruin a team's chances from time to time?
Mm-hmm.
Because, think about it. If you have all these players asking for these big money contracts, and the teams eventually give it to that player. We've seen it happen all the time. They run out of money, they run out of cap space, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't really want to give up this player and this player and this player because they've actually played key factors for us. They've actually been key players for us, but we ain't got the money to pay them. So, I mean, we got to let them go. I mean, we got to let them walk. And those are the
Right.
kind of teams that always struggle and always suffer because they lose key players like this from time to time, all because of these quarterbacks, these running backs, these wide receivers asking for these big money contracts, and it's just not worth it. It's not.
No, because in
Well-
the end, it destroys your chemistry as a team.
Exactly.
But here's the problem, though. I get all that, but at the same time, it's a lose-lose because
Mhm.
what I'm saying is, oh, okay, Lamar, yeah, you're right. You got a point. These big contracts could ruin football. But the problem is Baltimore is not trying to get them help either. It's either or. Like, okay, I get it. You try to go spend money elsewhere to get legit weapons and stuff, but Baltimore is not even doing that. So, damn, at least pay the man the money. Because, I mean, you're just sitting on money. What good are you as an owner? Your job is to spend money and maintain it. And it's just like paying your bills. It's paying your dues. Like, get this guy some help. You don't want to do that and then don't want to pay him. So what are you doing? Just sitting on your hands and ass, sitting on millions of dollars. Like, no, I don't want to give it to you, but I don't want to go get you help either. So you're forcing the guy literally to want the fuck out of Baltimore. It's literally stupid because, yeah, those big contracts, they could ruin a team. But it can't ruin a team if they ain't even build a damn team around them, except the tight end.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, like his running back's a bum. J.K. Dobbins had one good year at Ohio State, and he's just like, oh, that's our Christian McCaffrey. That's our Derrick Henry. Get the fuck. He might be a running back too on most teams. Good God Almighty. All these running backs up for, they could have went after even, I hate to say it, but Zeke would have been better than J.K. Dobbins. Are they making any attempts to contact Zeke?
They ain't doing a damn thing.
I mean, good God Almighty, man. And then you're setting the guy up to fail. And I understand he's not Joe Montana. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm not even saying he's top 3 in the NFL. I would easily take Joe Shiesty and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes over Lamar. But here's the big but. This is a quarterback-driven league. We know this. If you want my 2 cents about it, watch what happened with the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach of all time. Brady splits up with them. They ain't been back to the conference championship. That first year after, Brady wins as many conference championships and Super Bowls in the NFC as Aaron Rodgers did in his damn 20 years. I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league. And Joe Flacco, we could say he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? Right. Okay, Lamar Jackson gets drafted with the 30th overall pick, and you know what? After half of the season, they ran Flacco the fuck out of Baltimore because of how good they seen Lamar Jackson perform. They ran a Hall of Fame quarterback out of that city because they said, oh, yeah, this is our guy. It's contradiction. Okay, if he's your guy, then pay the guy. I'm not saying, oh, he deserves $500 million over 2 years. I'm just saying, he is a franchise quarterback and should be treated like a franchise quarterback. When you got, if you can name me 8, I will say, name me 7 more quarterbacks that you would take right now as your franchise guy over Lamar Jackson, and I'll give in to my argument. Name 7. Because right now, I can only name 3, 4 tops. And that is Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. That's literally it. Name anybody. Would you take Deshaun Watson over him?
Nope.
Because this guy looks like he's completely washed. Would you take Dak Prescott's 40 interceptions a year over Lamar?
Hey,
I wouldn't. I mean, come on, dude. Would you take Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career over Lamar?
Nope.
I wouldn't. Would you take Baker Mayfield over Lamar?
I think another quarterback.
I would take a loaf of bread over Aaron Rodgers at this point.
That's my point. Like,
and not
Trevor
only
Lawrence is
that,
on the outside looking in, but I still wouldn't take him over Lamar right now because of the success Lamar Jackson has when he is 90% of their entire offensive play calling. I'm like, and then you got one of the worst offensive play callers I've ever fucking seen in his offense, and Greg Roman. And I can remember him as a 49er calling that fucking offense when it was Jim Harbaugh having to damn protect his stupid ass from his dumb play callings, trying to have Alex Smith run a fucking read option because the guy's slow as molasses in winter. And the guy stinks as a play caller. They should have been done got rid of him. They should have been got Lamar help and then tried to judge his contract off of that. But the way they're setting him up to fail is complete bullshit, in my opinion.
It's terrible. And not only that, but to add to that, dude, Lamar knows that his shelf life in the National Football League, it's very slim to none. He knows that I have to get my money.
Robert Griffin III lasted 2 to 3 years because they ran him into the fucking ground and didn't pay him like he deserved. I'm not saying he should have made top dollar, but if you're going to use him 90% of your offense, you need to pay the guy. Simple as that.
Right. Exactly. Because he knows that his shelf life in the league, it's not going to be forever. He's not a pocket passer. He's predominantly a running quarterback. Michael Vick's shelf life in the NFL was short. Hell, Cam Newton's shelf life in the NFL has been short. Robert Griffin III, like you said, his shelf life has been very slow. Colin Kaepernick.
By the way, also forgot to mention that, by the way, $15 million of that money is guaranteed, by the way, for OBJ.
Yes.
But yeah, Steven, believe it or not, if the Eagles keep running Jalen Hurts into the ground, his shelf life might be short.
Yes, because look at the baggage that he did in the Super Bowl. He carried that team on his back, scoring 20 points in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I agree, but that's the problem, that you got these mobile quarterback shelf lives are coming to an end quicker than damn Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets decision. Jesus Christ. That decision is lasting longer than these quarterback shelf lives, for crying out loud.
This is true.
That's true.
Jesus, come on, man.
That's true. That is true.
Yes.
Yep. I want to get into some other NFL news notes, and we got there's a few, man, and this one, of course, this one right here, Adam Schefter, our favorite news reporter who gets yelled at by a lot of people. Denver Broncos announced, or John Elway confirmed to Nine News of Denver that he is no longer with the franchise after the expiration of his contract on March 15th.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
He said he don't work for Walmart, he works for Target.
He probably couldn't even manage a Target.
I joke. You know what? This is hilarious. You brought that up because you know why? Half the time I work at a retail store. For those of you who don't know here on the show, I work at a retail store. So every time somebody asks me when I'm working, "Hey, do you work here?" I want to look at them and go, "No, I work at fucking Trader Joe's. How may I help you?" I work at Target. How may I help you? Hi, I work at the Piggly Wiggly. How may I help you?
As a matter of fact, Target, he'll say that he'll go work for Costco.
Hi, I work at Save-A-Lot. How may I help you? I'm just here spying on my competition.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Basically, yes.
I know Marshawn Lynch.
That's why I said it.
Except I'd actually give interviews. I would actually talk. I'm not a fucking mute. I'm not a fucking mime dressed in an NFL uniform.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
That'd be creepy.
Well, yeah, Steven's in the room. We can't tell him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dummy. Yeah. After injuring his ankle at the Senior Bowl, Pittsburgh linebacker Savosia Dennis will not be required for a medical recheck at Indy. He recently ran a 4.56 40-yard dash and had a 41.5 vertical jump at his pro day.
Nice.
Former
4.56 40 on a bum knee.
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Former Texas free agent defensive lineman Rasheem Green is signing a 1-year deal with the Chicago Bears.
Nice.
Nice.
Bears adding more stability to their
They're
defense.
getting that defense revved up again. And their defense might be one of the top 10 defenses in the league this upcoming season.
Yep, absolutely, man. I'm excited. I cannot wait for this upcoming season. Chicago has put the right tools together so far, and I can't wait to see what they come up with in the draft. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm excited.
Real quick, shout out here in the chat. What up? Oh, yeah, Tony Justice. What's up, bro? Metallica. 72 seasons this Friday, bro. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A couple days ago, Tyreek Hill announced that he will be retiring at the end of his current contract. So,
Whoa.
5 Tyreek Hill will call it a career.
Interesting.
Yep.
And he said he's had a great run, in the NFL, obviously Super Bowl champion with the Chiefs, and he continues to break records and just continues to play at a high level. But man, that's kind of shocking, at this point. He's young too, to be announcing that, but hey, good for him.
Hey, he's deciding to walk away while he has the opportunity to at the prime of his physical health, which a lot of players, unfortunately, they stay too long at the party, and they're multiple concussed, broken legs, surgeries all over the place. Tyreek Hill is getting an opportunity to walk away while he has the opportunity to, with the money that he has, and be able to live a comfortable life from now on, which is, it sucks that he's not going to have a 20-year career, but in some cases, it's best not to have a 20-year career with the physical.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So it makes perfect sense in some ways, for a guy, especially like him, who's, one of the best athletic guys on the offensive side of the ball. So definitely it'll suck to have him gone, but then again, he's making the right decision for himself, his family, and his livelihood. So all the best to Tyreek Hill when it comes to that point in 2025. Right here, let's see. The Titans and Jeffrey Simmons agreed in principle to a 4-year extension.
Nice.
So so he will stick around for the long haul. The Titans are giving they're giving Jeffrey Simmons a 4-year, $94 million deal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I mean, looking at least $23 million a year.
Yep. $23 million a year. Let's see. Real quick, anything else? Yes, actually. Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter is scheduled to visit with the Seattle Seahawks on Tuesday, which is today. So he visited with Seahawks today.
Interesting. But there is a really big story going around right now. And that is the fact that with the draft coming up in a few weeks, we could be seeing another blockbuster because according to Adam Schefter's Twitter, at least 6, and I repeat 6 teams have inquired with Arizona about trading the number 3 overall pick.
That was actually the next tweet I was actually going to read.
Nice.
That was actually the next tweet in line, yeah.
Yes, 6 teams have inquired to Arizona about trading for that number 3 overall pick. So the question is, will Arizona get it done? Because they've been linked to getting Alabama linebacker Will Anderson in the draft. So what are they going to do? Pass on Will Anderson and trade the pick, or keep it and draft a linebacker that could be very...
That's a huge risk, to drop that pick.
I mean, think about it. Arizona's lost their top defensive player when J.J. Watt retired at the end of the season, so they need somebody to fill his shoes.
Yeah, but they could probably go to 5 and get away with it because we all know Indianapolis is going to get a quarterback. And then you got to think a lot of teams are going to be so desperate to get that 3rd pick for a quarterback, they might give away a franchise defensive player off the get-go.
That's true.
Here's one for you, and I tell you a really good one that really could be capable. I don't know if you're going to get to it, Ezra, but it just broke today that Tampa Bay linebacker Devin White demanded a trade. So Tampa Bay needing a quarterback could trade Devin White and multiple 1st-round picks to get that number 3 overall pick and get a quarterback. We just don't know. We basically can we can guess how many teams and who the teams are that's that desperate to get up to number 3 because of the quarterback need. And I would be guessing maybe Tampa Bay might be moving up there. The Raiders might be wanting to jump up there. I mean, Seattle might even try to inquire about it to get Geno's replacement ASAP for the next couple of years. Hell, even Detroit might be trying to shake a little something for Jared Goff's replacement. Who knows? I mean, it's just so many teams. And that's why I said, if Seattle, hear me out, if Seattle were to try to do that to get that quarterback, they would take the 5 pick, which means they could still draft Will Anderson at the 5 pick, because let's just say Seattle rolls with Richardson, and then Indianapolis is going to roll with Levis. So they would still get their pick of defensive choices at 5. Who's to say that might not happen? So you just kind of got to wait and see. I personally don't give a fuck what that organization does. Let that damn dumpster fire burn to the ground for all I care. Fuck Arizona. But I just want to see what's going to happen. They'll find a way to fuck it up, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Agree.
a team could trade up to get that number 3 overall pick and not actually draft a quarterback. I mean, let's take a team like, I'm throwing a team out there, Washington, just because I'm a fan of them. They could be looking at that number 3 pick and saying, you know what? We just lost Cole Holcomb in free agency, and he was our best linebacker. So maybe we could try to trade up in the draft, possibly give up Chase Young to Arizona, and we'll slide it to number 3 and grab Will Anderson. I mean,
that's a big risk.
It is a big risk, but the possibilities are endless at this point.
Because in the NFL, you don't trade up in the top 5 if you're not aiming for a quarterback. And honestly, I feel like y'all's best bet would to try to snag Devin White from Tampa Bay, someone who's already proven, and keep Chase Young while he's on a rookie deal.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's already said they're not looking to trade up, but the reason why Devin White wants out is because he's on his 5th-year option.
They don't want to pay him, but they don't want to trade him.
But you want to talk about?
Kind of sounds like the Lamar storyline.
Yep.
Exactly. You want to talk about? People saying he wants to be traded. Well, there was a rumor going around that Browns cornerback Greg Newsome wanted to be traded. However, his agent came out today and said that he's happy to be with the Browns and everything is positive with him and the organization. So that rumor has been kind of, for right now anyways, put to rest.
Anything can happen in the offseason.
Oh yeah. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. I'm not doubting that. Also, real quick, I want to get to something I just saw, and that is they announced today the Sports Emmys.
Ooh.
The Sports Emmys, a bunch of the categories were announced, and some interesting ones. I'm not going to go through all of them because it'll take up most of the show, but because there's a lot here. It's a lot. It's not just, it's shows, it's analysts, it's everything. So, listen to this one. The sports nominees for emerging on-air talent. Mind you, the Emmys, the Sports Emmys are May 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern if you're wanting to watch it. Andrea Carter of ESPN, RG3, Eli Manning, Greg Olson, and JJ Redick.
Oh Lord.
Oh, so they're not going to have Kendrick Perkins on there?
Oh God.
I think he disqualified himself a long time ago.
Yeah.
With his shitty fucking takes. I've heard better takes from JD from NY, one of the crappiest people on fucking Twitter when it comes to wrestling. I've heard better takes from that douche. But anyways, also on event analysts, this will be a fun one. For event analysts are John Smoltz, Bill Rafferty, Peyton Manning, Gary Danielson, and Chris Collinsworth.
Oh, now here's a guy.
Now here's a guy who got nominated for best event analyst at the Sports Emmys.
Lord.
Best
If
studio.
this tells you anything,
Yes.
I just typed in the tags Hashtag here's a guy.
Nice. Very
Yep.
nice. Very nice. Right here, says best studio analyst Charles Barkley, Jay Billis,
Yes.
Dave Burleson,
Barkley.
Data Burleson, Ryan Clark, Shaq, Kenny Smith, and Tom Verducci.
The whole
Everybody's getting
crew.
nominated. That's awesome.
You get nominated. You get nominated. Everybody gets nominated. It's like the
whole
Oprah Winfrey
TNT
of the
crew.
Emmys. Shit. But yeah, those are just a couple of the categories I found interesting here. Of course, there's going to be nominations for live series, documentary shows, hosted, edited series, all sorts of stuff. If you want to find out, just go to the Sports Emmys Twitter account or go to Adam Schefter's Twitter. He retweeted all the categories. So if you want to see that,
yeah, one small little news story here. There was a trade that went down today. The Detroit Lions are trading former number 3 overall pick Jeff Okudah to the Atlanta Falcons for a 5th round pick in this year's draft.
Okay.
Interesting.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, since we're on this, Louisiana Lafayette wide receiver Michael Jefferson, considered to be a likely mid-round draft pick later this month, was involved in a multi-car crash Sunday night in Mobile, Alabama. Has required multiple surgeries per his agent John Persley of Sports Stars.
That sucks.
Yeah, so all the best to Michael Jefferson. Get back soon, and we'll see where he lands. And that's pretty much all I have from the NFL side of things. Do you guys have anything you want to get into real quick?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, let's head into what we came here to talk about pretty much, and that is the NBA.
Yes, sir.
Tonight officially starts the postseason. And we got some games already to start off, and we got, I believe these are 2 of the play-in matchups tonight.
Yeah, the Heat and the Hawks.
Yep, which is going on right now, 15-9, Atlanta leading Miami halfway through first. And then Minnesota and the Lakers tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT.
And then tomorrow night, we got the Bulls taking on the Raptors.
Yep.
And then we finish off the play-in tournament. Well, I should continue to play in tournament with the Thunder against the Pelicans.
Yep. Should be some good matchups here. Since we're talking about the play-in tournament and everything, I want to kind of gauge you guys' I want to see what your guys' predictions are for this. We never do predictions for this stuff like this, but we're not counting this as part of our NFL predictions or anything like we usually do. But I want to gauge you guys' interests. So, Atlanta, Miami. Who do you see walking out with this one?
Miami.
Okay.
Miami. It could go
yes.
either way, but still.
Yes, Atlanta has some talent, especially with Trae Young, but Miami's the far more talented team.
I definitely agree. Kevin?
Should be Miami, but you
never know in this league.
Yeah, you never know in this league.
Should be Miami.
It's a tough one. Really, is because anything's possible, and it's so wide open right now. I'm gonna go with Miami. So I'm gonna go with Miami on that one. And then tonight, Minnesota and the Lakers. And before we get into the Minnesota Lakers talk, Rudy Gobert is suspended for tonight's game. Rudy Gobert will not play after the confrontation that happened the other night, where supposedly a punch was thrown. But Adam Schefter retweeted this. I don't know why he's retweeting freaking basketball news when he's a fucking NFL analyst. Yes, he has nothing. I guess he got bored. Is like, I'm going to go ahead and tweet some NFL and tweet some NBA news so that way they can get that too as well. Yeah, the Timberwolves had to suspend Gobert for throwing a punch, but accepted that it was a shot to the chest with no intention to injure Kyle Anderson. Understood that Anderson called Gobert a bitch repeatedly on a night Gobert was playing hurt, sources tell ESPN.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, and of course, Minnesota's also going to be without McDaniels, who fractured his hand after punching that wall in frustration after walking off the court.
What an idiot.
Okay,
Wow.
I have a bone to pick here.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
Here we
first
go.
of all,
Yes.
whose ass in the Minnesota Timberwolves is LeBron James and Jenny Buss and company kissing? Because not only does Minnesota at the trade line turn around and give them 2 good defenders and D'Angelo Russell to actually help the Lakers get a little better, but now you turn around and take away the guy, Rudy Gobert. The league did not suspend him. Let's get that straight. The organization did. This is a win now, one and done game. You suspending him for, okay, I get it. I mean, everything deserves repercussions, but you go out there and trade your entire fucking roster, including 4 first-round picks, for this jabroni just to keep him sitting the bench. Oh, by the way, I mean, that's Minnesota proven they play better without Rudy Gobert. But the big one that's going to hurt them is Jaden McDaniels, because he has been a all-NBA first-team defender. And first of all, you're giving the Lakers the 7 seed on a silver platter here. Oh, let's take away our center. Let's take away our best defender. Fuck it. Just beat our ass in the first night and get in the playoffs. You're begging to give this game to them. So, of course, I got the Lakers winning. But here's where my problem comes in. I watched a video on the last day of the regular season on Easter Sunday. Rudy Gobert straight punched Kyle Anderson, aiming at his face, and actually connected on his chin, by the way. But you know what's crazy about it? And I know we on here, and I know I'm a Warriors fan, and I do not condone some of Draymond Green's action, but someone please tell me why that was 10 times more of a big deal for a fight at practice than this was in a game. Oh, Draymond just is the worst guy on earth, but when Rudy Gobert does to a teammate on national television, oh, it's just a minor altercation. It's just because of who Draymond Green is why that attention came to where it has been. Let's just be real here. If Rudy Gobert had the reputation of Draymond Green, this would have been blown way more out of proportion, which it's not. I mean, that's just facts here. I can't stand that when, oh, it's a problem when Draymond and Jordan Poole get into it and practice, but Rudy Gobert can straight sucker punch Kyle Anderson in the chin, and oh, it'll be fine. We'll send him out for the day. You deserve to lose, and you know what? That's what I'm predicting too. And I'll go ahead and give you a future prediction. Also, it's not even a prediction; it's a spoiler. I'm telling you now. New Orleans is going to win that second game, and New Orleans is going to put an ass whooping on Minnesota in night 2 tomorrow to get the 8th seed. So guess what, Minnesota? Your little stupid playing with all this shit backfired, and you suck again. I feel bad for Anthony Edwards, because let's be real here too. He's the best player from his draft class. That included LaMelo Ball and James Wiseman. Anthony Edwards is miles ahead, the best player in that draft class. And he's having to deal with this bullshit in Minnesota, just like Andrew Wiggins, because of the fucking sorry culture this team has in Minneapolis.
And don't forget about Karl Anthony Towns, too.
He needs to get the fuck out of there, too, because of the culture. And they ain't got no damn culture in Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we pick on the Lakers throughout the whole entire NBA regular season, I mean, you got to give them the win here against the Timberwolves because, well, I mean, the T-Wolves have just screwed themselves over. So, yeah, I mean, I got to go with the Lakers too. I mean, they've been one of the hottest teams since the All-Star break, so give them props and give them credit where it's due. So, I'm actually picking the Lakers tonight. I'm actually kind of surprised.
You know what? Despite all the turmoil that we give the Lakers on here, I think the Lakers are going to win this. There's no reason why they shouldn't win. They shouldn't win this.
Nah.
No way.
And if the Lakers don't, they're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yep.
I would be hilarious if LeBron and them just messed this up.
It would be hilarious. It really would be, but I don't.
That would be on not top 10. Come on, man. All those.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is a win-win for the freaking Lakers. If you don't win with Rudy Gobert out, the other player out for punching a damn wall because he got mad, which is stupid beyond belief. Why would you do that when you know you got when you've got playoffs coming? Why would you do something like that? Go punch a fucking Care Bear or something. Don't punch a wall.
When you're in, you idiots. Come on.
Go punch the mascot. Don't punch the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't play. Why? Oh, my hand's screwed up. Oh, congratulations, goofball. Come on.
As Red Foreman would say, dumbass.
Dumbass. Oh, God.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I have the Lakers winning this one. And if they don't, it's going to be just more material for us on next Tuesday.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and then Chicago and Toronto.
Oh, this
This
tough.
game could actually be a toss-up because it all depends on which of those individual teams shows up. Because we've seen high points and low points for both Toronto and Chicago this year.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see which of the two teams shows up tomorrow night. But seeing as how the game is in Toronto, I'm sorry, Ezra, but I got to go home court advantage. I got to go Toronto.
I'm going to go with Toronto as well, just because they're at home, and when they are focused at home, they're a very tough team to beat, and Chicago's been up and down this year.
You know what? Fuck you both. I'm going to Chicago.
You know what? I'm a roll. I got a little tricky part to this. I'm going to go Chicago with Ezra too. But here's the tricky part. I feel bad for whoever wins any in the East play-in tournament because the two best teams in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics, are sitting there licking their chops.
Yep.
And honestly, no matter who makes it, I feel like
but Kevin, you also got to think too, though. Milwaukee and freaking Boston have been losing games that they shouldn't have been losing towards the end of the season.
This is true.
They've been teams that they should be losing against.
But there is a little asterisk beside it. Giannis missed like 5 or 6 games down the stretch. Then Jaylen Brown got hurt gardening, whatever he was doing, watering some plants, had to get stitches in his hands. So they were just kind of short-staffed anyway.
Was he gardening?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I still think the resume through the longevity of the season, it's been Giannis and it's been Jason Tatum and it's been their squad's just rolling team.
Kevin, are you sure it wasn't the ghosts that were haunting Jaylen Brown? He was like, oh shit, and he just tripped and fell.
He was watering his tulips. For, I guess get ready for Mother's Day. I don't know.
Yeah, he was tiptoeing through the tulips and he hurt himself.
I also want to mention, we're talking about the East right now. I want to mention that right now, to me, that first round series with the Cleveland Cavaliers and New York Knicks is going to be a dogfight, an old classic game, and between two up and coming squads who's got some young studs in the likes of Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson against Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and it's going to be a good matchup to watch between them two squads. But I still think it's a 3-horse race out in the East between the two I've just got done raving on, the Celtics and the Bucks. But I think Philadelphia is a wild card for this race. They can be beat, and Philadelphia could be the team. Here's where, because I'm actually going to give them some praise for the first time in years. James Harden has evolved his game to fit and gel with Joel Embiid, who, by the way, is going to go on to win MVP this year. Again, for the second consecutive year.
Because I'm tired of Nikola Jokic winning.
The second consecutive year, the points per game leader, averaging 33 a game.
Yep.
And that the only time that has ever been done by a center in NBA history was by Bob McAdoo back in the day, which is insane that a center at this time and age where centers are completely irrelevant is going out there putting up numbers like that. And you know what? Guess who leads the league in assists? This will blow your mind. James Harden leads the NBA in assists because he has gelled his game to fit with Joel Embiid. So I just hope because we know how this Sixers franchise is when it comes to the postseason, though. I hope it's a change for once. I really actually am hoping that the Sixers can get to the conference finals because I would love to see a Giannis versus Embiid clash or
that would be
Oh,
amazing.
that would be
I
pretty
would
big.
really want to see
And then
that.
you could have Middleton versus Harden, who can lock who down. I mean, oh man.
It's a good
Oh,
series.
yeah.
It's a good series out
That could be a throwdown.
I love
in
it.
your words, here's another Kendrick Perkins take I thought I would share. Kendrick Perkins said the Miami Heat could beat the Boston Celtics in 5 days.
Man, come on.
I said, first of all, if Miami loses tonight, you got to be in it to win it. So if they get bounced out the play-in tournament, it's the NBA. You never know.
Perky makes an ass out of himself.
This is the same Kendrick Perkins that said that he sees the Clippers beat the Suns in the playoffs, and I'm like, bullshit.
I was just about to get that in the Western Conference. This is the same Kendrick Perkins who said in the Game 6 of the NBA Finals that the Celtics would hold Steph Curry to 5 points and 0 threes again.
He's crazy.
Shut them out and win by 30 plus. That didn't happen. That was the farthest from the truth. But and like you said, though, here's where I was going to get to the Western Conference. To me, the two teams that are the biggest winners in that Western Conference Wild West is really the Lakers and the Warriors. The reason why, because let's be honest, teams were tanking to get out of that number 5 spot because, yeah, the Suns are better than they're better than their seed. And first of all, Kevin Durant got traded all the way mid-season and then still missed about a month and a half due to injuries. No one wants to see the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant healthy. Let me just say that honestly. I don't know who in the hell would want to play that team with Kevin Durant at full strength.
Agreed.
I sure hell wouldn't.
Agreed.
As long as he's facilitating. Devin Booker, as long as he's hot. I mean, nobody wants to see that team. And to be honest, the way the Warriors are in their position going against the number 3 Sacramento Kings, first of all, it's a 30-minute drive from San Francisco to Sacktown, or a 45-minute drive. They can literally take a damn bus. They don't have to fly. They don't have to travel. And here's the thing. Golden State is struggling on the road, but Sacramento has one of the worst defenses in the NBA, number 27 in defense. Here's the crazy thing. This is going to be the number 1 offense and the number 2 offense in basketball. Number 1 being Sacramento, number 2 being Golden State. Now, here's what Kendrick Perkins also said that really grinded my gears. He said that Sacramento's offense this year has been better than any of Golden State's offenses in their dynasty run.
Oh, dear God. No.
Are you kidding me?
That's bull.
Why do you think, bro, I don't watch this goofball on television no more because he makes a complete fool of himself all the freaking time. Come on.
And here's my thing. I'm sorry. I respect the fuck out of Sacramento. Don't get me wrong. Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. Golden State alum. Coach of the Year. Absolutely well-deserved. Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis are tearing it up. But this Golden State team, man, I'm telling you, and I'm not just being biased about it, the playoffs are a different animal. And something about the playoffs, Steph Curry gets up. Draymond Green gets up. Andrew Wiggins, by the way, will be ready for game 1, who just returned last week. Now, the people who spreaded those dumbass rumors about, is his girlfriend cheating and making up stupid rumors, not respecting his privacy, come out to be looking like complete ass clowns, by the way, because the real truth came out. He was tending to his father being sick, and I hope he gets well. But Andrew Wiggins is back. He was arguably the second best player in the NBA Finals. He's back. You got guys like Gary Payton making a return, came back to the team finally healthy, playing good ball. This Golden State team is going against the Sacramento team with 0 playoff experience, 0 playoff wins, and not even appearance since the 2005 team?
Yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up. This is the first playoff appearance for Sacramento in 16 years. So that
And
lack of playoff experience is going to bite them in the ass, especially with
yes,
this
and
Golden
it's
State team.
crazy because then you look at some other numbers. Golden State is under head coach Steve Kerr. The Warriors are 18-0 against the Western Conference. 18-0. They have not lost a Western Conference series under Steve Kerr since 2015, since he took over.
And I mean,
They haven't lost. And the big three is 16-0 when all of them play in the entire series. The big three, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. And also, let me mention this. I think this is a pretty cool stat, too. You don't think Klay Thompson's playing A1 basketball right now? Well, Klay Thompson leads the league in NBA in three-pointers this year with 358. Klay Thompson's back to Klay Thompson. And another record was broke at the end of the season, and it was that Golden State in the first quarter against the Portland Trailblazers put up 55 points in the first quarter, including 12 threes in one quarter. And Jordan Poole and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are the first trio of teammates ever to all have 300-plus threes on the season. And so when I look at that, I'm just thinking like, yeah, it's going to be a very competitive series. It's going to be high flying. It's going to be outrageous scoring. I'm talking 150 to 145 games. Like, it's going to be outrageous scoring. But I got to take the experience over that, dog. I got to take Steph Curry and Draymond Green's defense and Steve Kerr's coaching ability over the Kings. And there's a reason the Warriors are favored in that series. They are the highest, they are the most favored 6th seed in NBA history. Let's put it like that, to win. And the reason why I say the Los Angeles Lakers are a winner over the weekend, here's my thing. You're going to flip a shit, and I might flip a shit and eat my words, but if they get the 7 seed, I believe they upset the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. I'm going to say it right now.
Wow.
If Anthony Davis does not come out in street clothes, as long as he's playing, because here's my thing. Memphis is without their best physical player in Steven Adams. The Lakers lead the NBA in free throw attempts, so they get to the paint and they try to body you. They're going to eat against Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr., who has a bad tendency of getting in foul trouble, he's gonna foul out often, and Anthony Davis is going to be the key. But I really see the Lakers being able to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. But like I said about the Phoenix Suns and Kendrick Perkins' fucking outrageous takes, there's just no way the fucking Clippers are going to beat the Phoenix Suns, not without Paul George. And Paul George's not playing this series. He's still out with a knee injury. You have just Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook trying to tackle an animal like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Good luck, because I just don't see it happening. I really see Phoenix. I'm going to say Phoenix is going to win this in 5 games. I don't even think it's going to be close.
You know, as far as these first couple of rounds that are very noticeable, the Clippers and the Suns, I mean, if the Suns if their star big three can stay healthy, they're a dangerous team. And you said it, Kev. Nobody wants to play this basketball team when KD, when Devin Booker and Chris Paul are at full strength, because Kevin Durant by himself, you know, is one of the most deadliest scorers. And then on top of that, you get Booker involved. He's deadly as well. And when they're both when they're both doing their thing, and Chris Paul's distributing the basketball, you know, getting assists and picking the spots when they shoot the mid-range jumpers and those threes, I mean, this team can go far. But the biggest thing is they got to stay healthy. And I think they can beat the Clippers in this series. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to go Phoenix in 6. And then as far as the Kings and the Warriors, I mean, listen, I mean, despite all the problems that Golden State had before the season, into the season, Golden State is where they thought they were going to be. Another chance in the big dance in the playoffs to defend their championship crown. It's going to be hard to defend that championship title in the NBA, but Golden State can do it because they have the championship pedigree. And I think that they have the best chance, you know, out of these lower seeded teams that are these lower seeded teams that can get to the next round, because they are the most heavily favored 6th seeded team in NBA history with all their championship pedigree.
Well, that and the fact that the West is so weak this year, like, it's been up and down. So you're just leaving the door open for Golden State to just reassert themselves come playoff time. That's for any team. Like Memphis is not dominant. Phoenix is probably, I think it could come down to Phoenix and Golden State in the Western Conference Finals. Can you imagine that? Durant and Curry, Durant back finally gonna play a game in in San Francisco. Oh my God, the first time he'll play at Golden State since he left Golden State, if that were the case.
Yep.
I know there's imagine that. That would be a nice little rematch there. That'll be a nice little rematch there with KD returning back home or returning back to his shall we say. There's a matchup that we didn't mention on the east side of things, and that is Philly and Brooklyn.
Too much Embiid, too much big body, too much Embiid down in the paint.
Joel has been unfucking stoppable.
Unstoppable.
After dealing with some injuries, after dealing with that type of stuff, man, he's finally got himself healthy, and he's been the best version of himself. Joel Embiid is to me one. He's got to be in the top 3, top 4 players right now. Guy has just been an absolute tear. He's a big guy, great shooting, can grab rebounds, posted 40, 50, 60-point games. The guy is an absolute, just like I said, absolute monster. And I think Brooklyn is going to have a real hard time trying to defend him.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much for the play-in. I could definitely see. I agree with Phoenix's 6. I could definitely see that. I see Golden State beating Sacramento, and I think that's going to happen at 5. Reason why I say that is because not the Kings are not a good team, but the Kings have not been battle tested in a long time in playoffs. This has been a resurgence for them the past year or so. They've really built that team together. That's one of the success stories in the West is the Kings. If you remember the old DeMarcus Cousins days, and we'll talk about DeMarcus signing somewhere in a second, but you look at this Sacramento team and you look at how well they put this franchise back together. You look at the success they did, the right moves they made, the trades, the signings. They made all the right key moves together. And I could be wrong. I could see this going all the way to fucking 7 for all I know. But I have to trust the Golden State. I have to trust in the Splash Brothers. I have to trust in Draymond. I have to trust in returning Andrew Wiggins. You look at when that team is fully healthy, they're pretty hard to beat. And especially when you got Andrew Wiggins, who was pretty much the MVP, in my opinion, of last season, who came in there and helped give Golden State that charge they needed to win the championship. And then you add in a healthy Steph Curry, a healthy Klay Thompson, and a healthy Draymond. Come on. You're looking at a team that won a championship, who's still got their core lineup together. You're looking at Sacramento, who's coming into this, a brand new player who hasn't really been in the playoff picture in a long time. And they're not as battle tested as Golden State has been over the past 10 years or so. So, but then again, anything can happen in the world of sports. We know that as a matter of fact.
Yep.
But I could see this going, I mean, I said 5, but then if I think about it, I could possibly see this going to 7. And that's just
could
because
happen.
I could see it just because of the will and determination of Sacramento to say, hey, we're going to be here for the long haul. If you think we're just going to let you, stomp on us and walk through us, it's not going to happen. And the Golden State proving, hey, we're going to go back to that championship. We're going to take it home 2 years in a row. Let's fucking go. So it could go. It could go either way.
First, to finish off the play-in tournaments, I think the Thunder is going to beat the Pelicans. Surprisingly, mainly because the Pelicans are without Zion. But as far as this Sixers Brooklyn Nets series goes, I can see Joel Embiid and James Harden just absolutely wear Brooklyn out, especially since Brooklyn ain't got nobody anymore. So I can see. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't surprise me if the Sixers can actually sweep Brooklyn off the court, but I'll give Brooklyn at least one game. I'll say Sixers in 5. I'll give Brooklyn one game.
I'm not going to be nice. They're going to get swept.
But yeah, I mean, this Cavaliers Knicks series,
That's
it
gonna
wouldn't
be a good.
surprise me
That's
if
gonna be a
this
good
series goes
series.
all the way to 7 games. It would not surprise me if this Cavs Knicks series goes to 7. It would not surprise me at all. But I think Cleveland's going to squeak it out in 7. As far as the Western Conference is concerned, yeah, I'm definitely going with the Warriors because I'm taking experience over um
Youth and
the
determination.
playoff drive that Sacramento's had because this is their first appearance in 16 seasons. I do think Sacramento could make it a competitive series, but I think Golden State's eventually going to wear them out, and I Golden State in 6. And as far as this Clippers Suns series, listen here, man. If you're going to have one of your star players out because of a knee injury, that's putting a whole lot more pressure on Kawhi Leonard, and he won't be able to do it by himself. So I'm going with Kevin saying Suns in 5.
Yeah, I agree. Suns in 5.
Hey, I will say there's an interesting thing I want to read though, real quick. Speaking of the Nets, Mikal Bridges did something that was mathematically you would think not possible. He played in 83
Oh yeah,
year, and the only reason it was
83 games this year, and I'm like,
because
huh?
he played the extra game for Phoenix and still had to play the amount of games that the Nets had left, and
Yeah.
together it made 83 games, which is something you don't see every day.
Wow.
True Iron
Well,
Man. He hasn't missed a game since he went to college, so
That's amazing for a player.
definitely the epitome of the Iron Man. Same as Kevon Looney for the Warriors. He hasn't missed a game. He's played all 82 games the last 3 years.
It's truly are the Iron Man of this league. I mean,
Couldn't be LeBron or AD because they missed about 60 games.
Dude, especially AD.
and don't forget next season that new rule goes into place where you have to play at least 60 games in order to get nominated in order to claim awards like MVP, sixth man, defensive player, offensive player.
oh yeah.
And now the pressure's on AD to stay healthy.
Yeah, so Mikal Bridges, players like Mikal Bridges and Kevon Looney have the opportunity to score those awards because if they can stay healthy next season like they've been the past few seasons, those guys will be eligible for those awards.
I agree. And now, like you said, I think it was you, Ezra, that shared it in the group chat about the Mavericks being investigated for basically tanking.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I think they should because that shutting people down for the season is complete horse shit. Like you see that in MLB with pitchers and stuff like that. I get it because of arm fatigue. But in the NBA, come on, man, you got 100,000 people out there trying to get into games and buy tickets and spend. Have you checked Ticketmaster and see how expensive those fucking NBA tickets are? And you want to buy a ticket to see your favorite player just for him to be shut down for the year? That's fucking retarded, man.
Not only that, but to play a full quarter. That was
it. Down for the season for what? I love Dame, and it ain't his call, but these organizations are shutting these big time players down for what? Like the other day, Anthony Davis and the Lakers, was it about 3 weeks ago, were on a back-to-back in a must-win game to keep their playoff seeding alive, and Anthony Davis is sitting with load management, and they lose to the Houston fucking Rockets. The 15-win Rockets, they lost because Anthony Davis is sitting on his ass load managing. That's the biggest crock of crap. And if you want to know how true MVPs feel, go watch Jordan in his interview about load managing or sitting out games. Go watch Kobe. They don't care about their bodies. They're performing for the fans. And that's what he said. He said, maybe there's a fan who scrapped up all their life savings to buy a ticket to see me, to get my autograph. Why am I going to miss a game to upset that fan and upset all this and that?
Exactly.
When I have a perfectly healthy body and I can go out there and play and get their money's worth because they know they spent $600, $700, $800, sometimes $1,000 for the ticket they got just to see me play. And then you get to the game and, I'm sitting out because I'm load managing. That's the biggest crock of crap.
I'll add to that right there. And this is the perfect backing point that I'll make with this. Kobe Bryant in 2010 with the Los Angeles Lakers, their second year or their first year of them defending the crown that season after winning it in 2009. And the 010 season, the 09-010 season, Yeah, it was the 09-010 season, the year after they won it in 08-09, excuse me. And Kobe, during the 09-010 season, had finger injuries. He had ankle injuries. He had knee injuries. He had all these injuries that were popping up left and right. And what did he do? He persevered. He played through the pain, playing with an Achilles injury, playing, all these multiple injuries, all because he loves the game of basketball.
Exactly. I seen Kobe sitting on the bench during the timeout. He's got ice on his shoulder, ice on his elbow, a heating pad on his knee. And then I look at the Lakers today and see Anthony Davis is out because he don't have a tampon.
Oh, the poor little crybaby.
Suck it up and play and who cares about your little ovaries? Suck it up and play, Buttercup.
Oh, dear Lord. I mean, I don't, when that story came out and I read into it, like it blew my mind how the Dallas Mavericks were still in contingent to make it to the play-in tournament. And you still
Luka. They were winning, matter of fact, when they decided to sit Luka. They were up by 10 points at the end of the first quarter and just decide, we're sitting Luka. He's done.
That's a bunch of crock of crap. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, not only that, but now I know their record together wasn't great, 5-11 were Kyrie and Luka, but it was a promising start. But the fact of the matter is this: Dallas was losing the games they should have been winning. And then the teams that they had to beat that were quality teams that were fighting for those spots, they had to beat them. And 9 times out of 10, they didn't even beat those teams. But this was so stupid on so many levels. The fact that you're tanking away your season all because, we don't think we're going to make it. Dude, it's the play-in tournament. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. That's why you have the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seeds in both conferences are playing against each other because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. I mean, it's a slap in the face to not only the players, but it's also a slap in the face to the fans who paid their hard-earned freaking money to scrap up that money to go to a basketball game, and they're taking the chance knowing that, God forbid, if this was a back-to-back, or if this was now, I guess, the final couple of games of the season, and, we're going to tank just because we don't think we're going to win. How do you know you're not going to win? You have 4 freaking quarters, 12 minutes of basketball per quarter. You have multiple chances to win the game. This is utterly ridiculous. Sitting your star players. And not to mention, but Dallas's defense was terrible this year. I think they were ranked like 23rd, something like that on defense. They were terrible on defense this year. Terrible. And last year they were in the top 10.
Last year they made the Western Conference Finals. Now they're sitting at home eating Hot Pockets on the couch watching the Western Conference Finals.
Oh my God. Like, this is so wrong on so many levels. I mean, even if you're out of the playoff contention, dude, I mean, think about it, Kev. I mean, you know this. The star players that have missed the playoffs. Do you think Kobe Bryant took a day off of his team, even though his team a couple of times did not even sniff the postseason? No, he still played the game. He still played the game because he loved the game of basketball.
Kobe would be mad as a wet hen right now.
Yes.
If his team's out of the playoffs, he's ill as a hornet. Like, he's in the gym. He's not listening to the reporters. He's not talking.
Definitely not a Charlotte Hornet.
He's not on Twitter. He's not doing nothing but working out, getting better, getting pissed off at his team, trying to make them better, bring the best out of them. Not these players these days. Good God Almighty.
You can't even blame Kyrie for this bullshit. This is not even on Kyrie. The one time, this is not on Kyrie Irving. One time.
This is on. I strictly blame the organization because it started when you lost Jalen Brunson. You knew what you had in-house and you decided not to pay the man, let him walk to New York, and then you go and give up Spencer Dinwiddie when you know he was a key to that team. And you just, I mean, it's going to
Finney Smith also.
Yep, and Finney Smith. Yep.
And he's going to want out next year, and it's that simple.
The Dallas Mavericks get nothing in this situation.
You
Kyrie's going to walk via free agency
day,
anyway.
sir.
Good. I said good day, sir. Luka is all on his own. He has nobody to turn to help him because at the end of the day, Kyrie is going to walk and more than likely he's going to end back up with his buddy and LeBron in Los Angeles this time. And I mean, it is absolutely just mind-boggling that the Dallas Mavericks, a team that were in prime position to make a run to get in the tournament, and then they squandered it away because their owner thinks, oh, you know what, guys? We're not going to win. So you know what? One quarter, you're done. We're pulling the plug on your season. That's it. Dude, if I was a fan in that arena, I would have been pissed off. I would have walked off, took my stuff, got out of there, and left the game because that is a slap in the face to your fan base who love and support your team. Because think about it, the Knicks, the Nets, the freaking the Kings. The Kings have not made it to the postseason in 16 years. And that fan base kept coming up to the basketball games to support their basketball team. Come on.
Well,
If I was them, I would get my Lakers LeBron jersey that'll be on clearance once the season is over because they'll go to another team.
Yep.
But Steven, that's a very interesting point, or very interesting to know that you brought up the Kings because I don't know if you guys have been watching or seen on Facebook, but playoff tickets are currently on sale for the Kings versus the Warriors game 1 in Sacramento. Up in the nosebleed seats, we're talking in the section 200s in Sacramento's arena, the nosebleed seats. Guess how much a ticket is for that game?
$2,000?
$427.
Oh, wow.
For a nosebleed seat.
Now
I'm like, what the hell?
Now is that regular price or is that verified resale? Or flat?
No,
It's not a joke. I'm actually asking because I
Is
know
that-
that is regular price.
Oh, that's regular price. Wow.
Okay. Because I know even lower price tickets, especially when they're on platinum or verified resale, are extremely higher than regular price tickets. So,
Well, I mean,
yes,
that's pretty.
202
that's
row
to me.
R, $427.
And to be honest,
crazy.
look at the totality of it. It's actually over doubled Golden State's cheapest price. Like in their home court on game 3 and game 4, their cheapest is like $214. So their tickets are doubled. And someone said it's smart marketing because who knows how long Sacramento is going to be in the playoffs. You might as well run that money up while they still in. They ain't in the playoffs in 16
That's a good
years.
point.
You might as well go ahead and get that money while you can to help upgrade arenas, et cetera, because they could be bounced by Golden State. Like if they're favored, like we say they are, that's the only round of the playoffs they host. So they might as well run that ticket up. And I imagine it'll be the same way in the next series, even if they beat Golden State. And here's the crazy one. If the Lakers upset the Grizzlies, they would host the Lakers, meaning that the Lakers would come there and look. Can you imagine them running up a check or running up the tickets prices because it's LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, the same way they're running it up because it's Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors? Like these guys that are making the revenue for this arena are licking their chops at this idea right now.
Yep.
it's insane how these ticket prices work. And you're right, it is smart marketing because, like you said, who knows if this will be the only run they'll have? Who knows if this will be the only thing they're gonna do? Why not get the biggest bang for your buck as you can? If you're the Sacramento Kings, put that money towards arena improvements and development, and work on getting some other things done, and hope for next year, and hopefully the team gets even a little bit better. We'll see. But also we did mention, speaking of Sacramento Kings, we mentioned, of course, good old D-Cuz. And that's because DeMarcus Cousins has joined a Puerto Rican league team.
Hey,
He has signed with the Guaynabo Mets of Puerto Rico's professional basketball.
Wow.
hey, congratulations, DeMarcus Cousins.
Hey, he seen Dwight Howard dominate over there in China and Taiwan or Taipan. Hell, fuck it, let him try it. He go to Puerto Rico and dominate. Maybe win a 3-point contest.
Hey, I was gonna say I don't think he's gonna be playing in a 3-point contest over there. I think they take
Ew. I don't think so either.
They might be battling Shaq in a chicken wing eating contest then.
No, Lord.
Wings. I'm just saying that because I'm hungry. Score update real quick. Atlanta right now is leading Miami 59-39.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah. It's
Wow, Atlanta's pouring it on them.
Yep. Right now, as far as Atlanta goes, Trae Young has got 11. Bogdanovich has got 10. Hunter's got 6. Collins has got 4. Capella has 0. And Murray has 6. Oh, and Okongwu is 10. And Johnson is 4. So everybody but Capella scoring. Yep. So that's the score update.
Guess who is making headlines once again, Steven? The guy who cannot keep his mouth shut from the Memphis Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks.
No, boy. Again.
Dylan the villain.
Yeah, he's saying that he wouldn't mind playing LeBron and the Lakers in the first round. Wants to knock him out right away. Bruh. Come on.
Oh, yeah. By the way, quick update. Paul George will not be playing the start of the series against the Suns due to a knee issue. Just saw that on the front of NBA. So, but yeah, also real quick, the Rockets have decided not to pick up the option for Steven Silas.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yep. So he's pretty much done. And outside of that, it's pretty much all I have for news notes. But on the NBA, I don't know if you guys have anything real quick before we move on.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right, then to all the teams involved in the play-in, and of course the NBA playoffs as it continues, in the immortal words of MXC Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, don't get eliminated! You guys remember that show from the early 2000s? That was a kick-ass show, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge on Spike TV. Kenny Blankenship, Vic Romano, Guy Ladouche.
Yes.
Oh, such a great show. Anyways, let's talk a little Major League Baseball. I know this is Joey's forte going on right now. And real quick, score updates right now. The Yankees are leading the Guardians right now, 11-2 in the middle of the ninth.
Another thorough beatdown.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess the Yankees were upset. They got their butts beat last night by Cleveland. They were like, you know what? We're just going to go to town on these motherfuckers tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. A's are beating Baltimore 7-6 at the bottom of the fifth.
Ooh.
Pittsburgh Pirates are beating the Astros 4-2 in the top of the eighth.
Wow.
The Tampa Bay Rays are beating the Red Sox 5-1 in the middle of the seventh. Miami is beating Philly right now 4-1. Detroit beating Toronto 3-1 in the top of the third. The Mets beating the Padres right now. Wrong. Padres just scored 2-1. They're in the lead. Cincinnati's leading Atlanta 4-2 right now in the bottom of the fourth. Seattle is just absolutely decimating the Cubs 7-0 in the bottom of the second.
Damn.
Twins are leading the White Sox 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Texans and the Rangers and the Royals are knotted up at 0 apiece in bottom of the second. And Colorado and the Rockies and the Cards are at warm up right now. Still to come tonight. Nationals and the Angels, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks, Dodgers
and the Giants.
Yep. Yep, Dodgers and Giants. Yep. So, Joey, I know that this is kind of your forte. Baseball is a little bit of mine, but looking at your Atlanta Braves right now, I know it's only just started the season. I don't know the record offhand. How are you liking what you're seeing so far from them?
Well, I mean, I like what I'm seeing so far. I mean, the Braves have lost some key play. I mean, they definitely lost one key player in this offseason when Dansby Swanson went to the friendly confines of Wrigley Field in the offseason for on that 7-year contract. And we brought some key players in. I mean, we brought in Sean Murphy from Oakland to team up once again with Matt Olson, who was a former first baseman for the Athletics. I mean, the Braves, we're 7-4 right now. We're in first place in NL East, up by 1 game over the Mets. But, I mean, the Braves, compared to what I saw from this team last week, they really haven't done much because the Braves started 6-1 in their first 7 games, but then they've lost, or now they're going to lose 3 out of their last 4, including losing 3 in a row to San Diego before squeaking out a win last night because of Sean Murphy's walk-off 2-run homer over the Reds. And now we're trailing 4-2 in this game right now against the Reds. I mean, yeah, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from the Braves so far, but at the same time, we need to pick up the pace because, I mean, we were up by 3 games at one point over everybody else in the NL East, and now we're up by just 1 game. So we're lucky we're still on top of the NL East right now. So we need to pick it up.
Yeah, I can't say the same for my White Sox. My White Sox right now are 5-6. They had some pretty bad losses, especially in the beginning of the season. It was not a good start for my team, unfortunately. 11-5 losing to Pittsburgh. 16-6.
Yeah, I mean,
16-6 loss to the Giants. Lost.
Yeah, I'm about to say about that 16-6 loss to the Giants. I saw that as I was going down the road heading home for work, and I was like, "Ouch!"
And also worth noting real quick too is the fact that the Tampa Bay Rays are still undefeated at 10-0.
Yeah, I know. So I wonder
nearly
when they're finally going to drop their first game because, and see, in Tampa Bay, they're relying on the home run ball right now. They're hitting. I see. If my stats are correct, which I'm pretty sure they are, the Rays have a plus 22 right now with the home run differential with their 1-0 win over the Red Sox last night because of Brandon Lowe's home run to right center field in the bottom of the 8th inning. But yeah, a plus 22 home run differential. I mean, that is insane.
Mm-hmm. My only concern going down the stretch for Tampa Bay is that when they get behind, they're gonna have to play some defense. Stopping the other team, at the plate.
I mean, if it wasn't for Brandon Lowe's home run last night, they probably could have lost that game last night because that was the only run of the ball game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Let's see. Oh no, go ahead, Joey. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was done.
Oh, okay. All right. In quick injury news, Seiya Suzuki for the Cubs is nearing a return. He's been trying to come back from that oblique strain, which has been plaguing him for a while. Well, it looks like he's on his way back, which is great. Elfin from the Rays headed back to the DL with a back injury, so he's down and out. Let's see. Bryce Harper took swings against high velocity breaking ball pitches today. Still waiting on clearance to run the bases or slide as he's dealing with Tommy John surgery recovery. Like I said, Zach Elfin went back on IL.
Speaking of Tommy John surgery, I've been seeing reports that
Ian Anderson,
Atlanta Braves pitcher Ian Anderson is more than likely facing Tommy John surgery, so he's going to be down for the season.
Yeah, and Max Fried is threw off the mound to perform fielding drills, so he's looking like he's on his way back.
I hope so. And also, very interesting news for the first time in almost 2.5 seasons, Atlanta could finally see a familiar face on the mound. That is if he can stay away from the injury bug. That, of course, is Mr. Mike Soroka, who has
Interesting.
who was one of who was one of our elite pitchers before the injury bug cost him 2.5 years of his career. But he's lined it up right now in AAA, and they're saying that he's on his way back to joining the um, starting roster. So
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Um,
I'm ready to see him come back.
also, another injury news for you guys is looks like Travis Denard looks like he is it looks like he's doing well from his concussion that he had.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. We'll be
Mhm.
happy to bring back Darno. Let's go.
And also Raisel Iglesias too. He's right now he's resumed playing catch, but has not resumed throwing off a mound yet.
Hey, I mean, we're all making good strides, so we'll be ready. We'll be ready to see Soroka come back, Darno come back. We'll be ready to see Iglesias come back and take the closer role once again.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. Bad news for my Sox. Tim Anderson's out with on a 10-day IL with a with a left knee sprain.
Ooh.
He injured his knee on Monday in that win against the Twins at Target Field. And then also Joe Kelly was placed on a 15-day IL with right groin strain. So some bad news already for the White Sox, but it's whatever. We'll bounce back.
It's early. It's
Yep,
early.
it's way early, yeah. Carlos Correa of the Twins, he was scratched from Monday's lineup due to a continued middle back tightness, and he's not scheduled to play. He wasn't in Tuesday's lineup either, tonight's lineup. So that's a big blow for a new acquisition they have. Adam Duvall from the Red Sox was placed on a 10-day IL with distal radius fracture with no timetable set for his return.
Yeah, and he's been lighting it up for Boston here in the early part of the season.
Yeah. So, also Aaron Savale from the Guardians, he was scheduled to pitch against the Yankees on Wednesday. He went on the IL with a left oblique strain. So that's pretty much all I have for MLB stuff. Joey, anything you want to add before we move on?
I think I'm good. I mean, it's very early in the season. Anything can happen, so we'll just keep track of what happens throughout the season. And once I do come back to the show full time, which hopefully it won't be too much longer from now, we'll be able to talk more about baseball and see what happens in the summer months.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, before we close out the show, I wanted to talk quickly about UFC 287, which happened this past weekend. Congratulations on order to Israel Adesanya, who ended up beating Alex Pereira in their second matchup between each other.
Man, I saw that. I saw the highlights of that fight, and I was like, "Good Lord, Adesanya was all over that dude in the second round."
Yeah, well, Adesanya was up against the cage, and he landed a right and then a left, which basically turned his lights out.
It pretty much knocked him unconscious.
Yep. Yeah, that was a hell of a fight. That was an excellent fight. I saw that actually coming back from Buddy's house. I was watching that in the car. Also, Gilbert Burns defeated Jorge Masvidal, and after the fight, Masvidal announced his retirement for the world of mixed martial arts. And Jorge,
which honestly, I mean, the law's kind of shocked me, seeing as how Masvidal is one of the best pure MMA fighters in the world right now. But him retiring afterwards, I mean, the dude's been in a lot of MMA fights, and he was eventually gonna hang it up at some point.
yeah,
So for him to do it right now when he's still technically in his prime, I mean, that's a smart move on his part.
yeah, he's had 52 professional MMA fights. He's had 52 professional MMA fights. So and Gilbert Burns is young. He's only at 27. He's 22-5 now after the win over Jorge.
Yeah.
So, and Jorge, to me, one of the best promos, one of the best trash talkers. We've seen this guy appear. Hell, I stayed in the suite right next to Jorge Masvidal at All Out a few years ago.
Nice.
I was sitting in the same suite as him and Dan Lambert as well. Sitting in the suite next to him, anyways. But definitely also Rob Font defeating Adrian Yanez, Kevin Holland winning his fight as well. So some great fights on the UFC 287 card. That's pretty much all I have right now. Anybody else got anything you want to talk about before we roll out of here for today?
I do want to say
What?
on a small little hockey note, congratulations to the Boston Bruins for breaking the overall wins record for the regular season, getting their 63rd win of the season the other night against the Philadelphia Flyers.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah, Boston Bruins, man, they've been playing on another level this season. I have been keeping track a little bit. Not as much as I used to, but I've been keeping track of it, man. And it's they've been kicking ass. So definitely it's gonna be I'm excited to see what happens here coming up with these playoffs.
Yep. And speaking of Boston, former South Carolina player Aaliyah Boston became the first player drafted last night in the WNBA draft, going to the Indiana Fever. So congratulations goes out to her.
Oh, and wait. Speaking of college ball, there was actually something I did want to mention that Adam Schefter retweeted about college basketball, which I'm still scratching my head on why he's fucking retweeting college basketball, but he's a football analyst.
He's bored. He's bored.
Are you that fucking bored this offseason? You got to do that? I mean, no disrespect to college ball at all, but are you that bored? Why don't you go retweet stuff? Why don't you go retweet freaking highlights from Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers or freaking Lamar Jackson championship highlights? Oh, wait, did I say that? Sorry.
Yep.
Here it is. This happened a couple days ago. Former University of North Carolina guard Caleb Love is transferring to Michigan.
Ooh.
Yeah, so now Armando Bacot is going to be by himself because everybody else around him is either leaving, going to the draft, or transferring to other schools. So, way to go, Bacot. You done wasted your last season as a North Carolina Tar Heel.
Yep.
Also, another NHL news real quick. Eric Carlson from the San Jose Sharks has become the first NHL player defenseman to reach 100 points in a season since 1992 on Monday night.
Interesting.
Yes, definitely more history making.
I know one sport we don't really talk much about on the show is soccer, but I do want to point out that U.S. midfielder, I think her name is Mallory Swanson, she underwent successful knee surgery to repair her torn patella tendon. So I'm not sure what her recovery time is right now, but hope she gets back in time for the World Cup to start later this summer.
Yes, absolutely. All the best to her. And I think that just about covers it. It's just it's time. It's time for our thing here. Final thoughts, everybody. Let's start off with Joey, since you're on right now.
All right, but first, before I do get my final thoughts, I do want to point out that we do have another football league starting up this week, and that is after a successful. After a successful comeback last year, the USFL is kicking off this Saturday with the champion Birmingham Stallions taking the field. I can't remember who they're playing, but they're taking the field in prime time. So I'm ready to see more USFL action, see what else we can see out of these players. But on to my final thoughts. It was awesome being back here on the show tonight. Anytime I have a free schedule during my little hiatus, I'm going to be here talking sports and talking junk with you guys because, hey, there's nothing better I can do on a free Tuesday night, right? But
That's right.
I mean, yeah, the time is coming closer to where I will be back on full time very soon. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming. But if all goes to plan, which I'm pretty sure it will, then we're gonna see a really, really very awesome Saturday because me and we'll be hanging out, playing video games, talking sports, talking junk, whatever we want to do. And I am so looking forward to spending some time with my bros. So looking forward to it.
Yep, absolutely, man. And I know once my paid time off comes in, I'm going to start working on some scheduling and see when I can get out to come see you guys. And that way we can do a live edition of this show in the same room together.
Oh, that would be magical.
Heck yeah, that'd be
Us
straight up
idiots
fire.
staring at each other in the same room, yelling at each other about sports. That's going to be, hey, it's going to be more it's going to be more entertaining. It's actually going to be more factual than Kendrick Perkins takes.
Yes.
Probably.
And, go ahead, sorry.
And just think if it's during the NFL season, we'll be yelling at each other in the same room making picks.
Oh,
Yes.
trust me, it will be during the NFL season. I will make sure of that shit.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
And to add to that, you were talking about the USFL, Joey. Birmingham are taking on the New Jersey Generals at 7:30.
All right, and the New Jersey Generals. All righty.
The New Jersey Generals.
Yeah,
New Jersey Generals. Still better than the New York Jets.
but yeah, those are my final thoughts. I can't wait to be back on full time. Peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kevin.
What?
Final
Yeah.
thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Oh, I had a brain fart, kind of like Aaron Rodgers. But anyway,
What?
I
You got a brain fart? What?
okay. Nah, you talk about fascinating. Yes, it's gonna be more fascinating than the Jets and the Aaron Rodgers trade negotiations. That's for sure. Real fascinating.
Yeah.
But nah, it's been good to be on the show today, guys. And yeah, you talk about the USFL. Well, guess what? There you go, Cam Newton. You want a job? You say you're better than 30 NFL quarterbacks? Well, I call hocus pocus and I say go to the USFL because that's where you belong, son. But anyway, it's been a good show, with you guys. Good talking to NBA, NFL, MLB, all that, hooba gooba. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Hope everybody has a good rest of the week and stay safe.
Absolutely. Steven, close it out, brother.
Oh, that was great. Greatest 7 seconds on the show ever. And your reaction was priceless. Anyways, great show with you guys talking about the NFL and all with the hoopla down there in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. Will he stay? Will he go? OBJ's contract and all that stuff. And
Should I stay or should I go now?
thank you, good sir. And also the NBA play-in starting tonight, and the playoffs starting on the 15th. And boy, oh boy, again. Man, me, you, Ezra, Tony, Elder, everybody out there that loves the mighty Metallica, we are super excited as Metallica fans to be listening to yet a brand new piece of metal music from the metal legends themselves this Friday, or a day earlier if, like me, if you're going to the cinemas down there at the theaters across North America to witness 72 seasons in its entirety on the big screen in surround sound. I mean, it's just, it's amazing that this band pushing 60 years old is still putting out caliber music, quality music, that's better than a lot of today's music, and that, I mean, everybody's looking for, innovate the wheel. They are the wheel. They've already done, what they're, gonna do. They know, what they do. They do what they're going to do, and they stick to writing whatever they want to write. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of this album. I mean, the singles are so far so good, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the record's going to be so far, really good as well, because all the reviews, that I've been reading, everybody's praising, the lyrics of Hetfield and all of that stuff, and just how tight the rhythm section is with Lars and Robert, and I think the biggest thing about this record that I'm so excited about is the fact that all of the band members contributed to this album as far as the writing process. And that's what James said in his latest interview with So What magazine, that he wanted the rest of the band, to contribute to the record. And everybody on this album is either at one point is co-writing with James and Lars, whether it be Kurt or Rob. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. More new music, more new tunes from this great band. Love these guys. If you've never been to their shows, go see them live. It's not just a show. It's an experience. And we are so excited as Metallica fans to experience 72 seasons this week, coming out finally, after a 6-month anticipation, especially after that first single kicked ass. I mean, man. And speaking of kicking ass, and Ezra, you talked about this briefly at the top of the hour. That performance on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night was just amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. And just so excited to be doing this show with you guys, talking about the world of sports. And we will be back, as Megadeth would say, we'll be back next Tuesday talking about the world of sports and also recapping the first weekend of the NBA playoffs and whatever NFL news and nuggets that we get coming down the pipe, especially with Adam Schefter. And who knows, he might, retweet some basketball shit again. Who knows? But I don't know what the hell's up with that. Like, that's just not unlike Shefty. But anyways, great show with you guys. And don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it is at the Nation's Corner. And check out the guys and gal this Saturday as they recap the week in professional wrestling. And also don't forget to follow our social media platforms on Twitter at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and also where we are live on mostly every Tuesdays and sometimes Wednesdays. Follow us on YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to like and smash and hit that subscribe button. Like these videos, share them with your family and friends that love the world of sports. And we love doing this show for all of y'all out there in sports YouTube land. And with that being said, we're out of here. Ezra, wrap this up, my friend.
Sure thing, man. Thank you to everybody for coming on here. Thank you to you three guys. Thank you to Joey for coming on. It was a nice little surprise. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, what a great show this was. Got into a lot of discussion time, especially about the NBA Finals, which, of course, NBA playoffs are starting now. Playing games are still going, or just starting today. So definitely check them out when you get the opportunity. It's been a great week of sports and just overall great week at everything. So definitely excited for what this week entails with all the playoffs, with the NBA and everything else in between. So thank you guys for joining us. Like, subscribe, share all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow Nation's Quarter, Too Sweet Cosplay. Don't forget to follow, of course, our individual social medias, which will be posted at the bottom of this video. So, with that being said, for Kevin Rory, for Joey Thornton, for our boy Randy Guyard as well, and for Big Stevie Wyatt here, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you right here next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you all next time. Peace, love, and rock out. Oh, yeah!